Welcome to the opening LFF review for 2020. Today I'm reviewing Mogul Mowgli, directed by Bassam Tariq. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Co-written by Bassam Tariq and Riz Ahmed, who also stars and also co-produced this film. So without any further ado, let's talk about some festival films. The film tells the story of a British Pakistani rapper who is on the cusp of his first world tour, but is struck down by an illness that threatens to derail his big break. And I was extremely excited for this film for several reasons. Number one, I had just found it because I saw it was going to be the first movie playing at LFF at the Digital Library, and I love Riz Ahmed, so I was extremely excited to see him in a movie, especially in the festival season. And as well, it had a very unique look to it, and I like all these personal stories and exploring different cultures, a culture that Riz Ahmed himself is from in real life. And I was somewhat disappointed, not by this film being overall bad, it's just that the execution of its very good ideas fell flat for me. But let's start with the good, because this film has a very gritty, dark look to it. And I don't mean dark as in it's a thriller or a horror movie. It just doesn't make things seem pretty when they're not supposed to be. This is somewhat a very depressing movie of a man who's got this great career going for him. Riz Ahmed is a rapper in real life as well. And then he gets this thing that he can't get out of, and it threatens his entire career. Everything that he loves, everything that he's passionate about is suddenly put on hold, and without any certainty that it could come back into the fold and he could pursue this yet again. Riz Ahmed is fantastic in this film. He starts as someone who is not quite likable, but you understand why he focuses so much on his career. He has very little contact with his family. He doesn't care for the traditions of the family. He doesn't care to help his dad at his restaurant. He doesn't care to call his parents every day or even every week. He doesn't care to keep communication going. He detaches himself a lot from them and from their culture that they share. He also changed his name. And so you have this person who is very detached from his family, yet you can see how much his family loves him. For them, it's like he never really went away for even a second. It's like almost he did nothing wrong. But what the cusp of the film entails is the few days that he spends in the hospital trying to figure out what is actually happening to him. And it is very investing to a point. But midway through the film, and this is only a 90-minute movie, and maybe even less than that, somewhat like 87 minutes, it starts to feel very static. It starts to feel very trapped in that moment. And even though it clearly has some budgetary restraints, it's admirable what they were able to do with those budgetary restraints. Not only because it is a very, very well put together story, it's the execution that makes the film feel trapped. It helps the film give away how much of a budgetary restraint it actually had. The film is also surrounded by these dreamlike sequences that entail to the Pakistani culture from which Riz Ahmed's character is from. And I failed to see how much they gave to the movie at a certain point. They start out and you understand their purpose. You understand their purpose throughout the entire film. It's just that at a certain point you start to feel that certain dream sequences are saying the same thing other dream sequences were saying before. And so the film doesn't tell this great story with an intimate scope. It tells this very static story where it feels very uneventful with this very intimate scope that works because the performances are so good. At every year at LFF, I see at least one movie that I don't like whatsoever. Mogul Mowgli is not one of those. This is one of those stories that I can see a lot of people appreciating way more than I personally did. It just fell flat for me. It felt like right in the middle of the line between positive and negative. It's there. I've seen it and I'm happy that I saw it so I can talk about it. The performances are genuine. The look of the film, the cinematography is wonderful, and I wish it could have been better because I could see how it could have been much better. I'm giving Mogul Mowgli a C. Now, my beautiful geekies, if you have seen Mogul Mowgli, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and stay tuned for many more LFF reviews to come, including Herself, Mangrove, Kajillionaire, and many others. Also, check out my earlier review for The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is also on the channel right now for you to see. And so until the next video, stay beautiful, stay geeky, and please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share the video because it really helps me and the channel out, but most importantly, above everything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies.